What's that? Hey guys, Will here, and today we're going to look at this. It is the giltek RUK. Okay, this giltek RUK I've been waiting for a while. Actually, I was waiting for the titanium to go back in stock, and finally did, and I'm so glad to have this. I've been looking at the design for a long time, actually, and it looked like it to be the perfect utility knife, and so I was excited to get it. It is, the giltek company is a USA company. I believe a family-owned company, everything in-house, and comes in this very simple packaging, cardboard. This is a sticker, and I don't know, what are you guys doing with your stickers? I have like a ton of stickers. I don't even know where to put them, but you can comment below. But yeah, very simple packaging, and look at this knife. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is the titanium version. Gorgeous knife. Look at the finish. The finish, we're looking at a bead blast in nice chamfered edges, and then some shiny bits over here. At first I thought it was hand satin, but actually those are the machining marks. So they're actually quite smart in how they designed this, you know, to look aesthetically great when they are making this thing. And it's basically, you have all this sort of like different finishes that shine off the light, and that's sort of like when you see into like a luxury watch and like different facets or finished differently. So I think that's great. Nice little satin look on the sides, which makes it look more seamless. It is a two-piece design, and then they have a nicely faceted here. This is a nice little aesthetic choice for them to do. I love it. I love the way that looks. Now let's start with the cons. I already said before, I'm not going to talk about prices being con. Yes, I understand that you can buy like 1,000 blades or something for $100, and this does cost $100 shipped. But you're not here for that. I think you're here for something more special in your EDC, something more premium, something more heirloom quality, something that can just, you know, raise your lifestyle a bit. For this kind of very useful item. So I think I'm not gonna say the price. I think the price it's right in the mid pack. $100 in the market for titanium is perfectly in the mid pack, well priced for what you're getting. This titanium material and high finish, and so I think it's good. They also have other options like $30 to $40 if you want something like aluminum, the Cerakote, and other different types of finish, anodized, non-anodized, and stuff like that. So they have many options. So if you're looking to get them as gifts or such, there is that. And so then, yeah, there's actually no con that I can think about. Okay, so let me talk about the elephant in the room for this thing, just to get all the negatives out at the beginning of this video review. This very unique lock board design is actually quite familiar. If you have seen a SNEX Mono version 1, version 2, or the new SNEX MUK, M-U-K, they also feature a lock bar design, and seems that I think RUK had that patent pending for years now, and then so I'm not sure what the deal is with. If someone knows what the deal is with this, maybe they can comment as well. It has the SNEX 10, the Malaysian knife designer. Did he borrow this or / inspired by the RUK or whatever? But it seems like that design. It is the same design, using a lock bar that clicks into a notch. Did he actually get that design from someone else? So that's something to think about. So what I'm gonna say is, just probably put quite simply, is that I think if you have a SNEX utility knife, and I'm gonna just say you need to buy yourself a RUK to just clear your karma, clear your conscience. because it seems like it was their design first. All right, so that's my impression of it, and I don't know what's going on with Snex and putting that in his design. I know there's more elements to his utility knife like monoblock, etc., but that lock bar seems like it's uniquely gil-tek's design. So just wanted to make that kind of comment. So let's continue. So the pros of this utility knife, right? Lock bar design. So why is a lock bar design so great? It's basically putting tension onto the blade. So when you shake it, there's not going to be any rattling, and you don't need magnets, right? So there's no magnets or any additional parts to keep that blade from rattling or to keep it in place. So that's great. Also, the lock bar design allows you to have one hand opening just like that, one hand closing, clicks like that. The lock bar tension is quite robust. It's not delicate. You have to push it in a bit. So I would say that's actually very nice. It's very confidence inspiring. So when you lock it in, I wholeheartedly would totally trust that it's going to hold that blade in place while you're cutting boxes, right? So very nicely tuned when they designed this. So really nice as well. Let's see what else. The bottle opener, that's also another pro. It is a very nice tool design. So they really try to cram as much useful tools into this design while keeping it, I guess, aesthetically beautiful. It is very nice. You have the bottle opener. You have the pry bar / flathead. Just nice, very strong. I'm telling you, this is crazy. This really feels like a one-piece design. Oh, that was the crunching from this, but it really feels like a one-piece design. Very, very robust. Pry bar and the line cutter, very cool. Let me see. Just get a piece of line so I can demonstrate that for you. Okay, focus. And then just like that. See if I can grab onto this and pull just like that. Pretty cool, right? So just like extra thought into it. That's so great. Like this blade is like so recessed, and I don't even think I can touch it with my nail. It's really safe in there. So but you don't even have to deploy the blade to just do a quick line cut, especially if you're a fisherman. So that's a really great idea. That's a really nice extra detail. Okay, and what else do they have? A nice little bit holder, I think 1/4 inch. This is great for emergency. They do sell like a lanyard, like a magnetic lanyard that holds bits if you're like using bits commonly. So that's probably a nice accessory to match with it. Otherwise, it's just some kind of backup, like, you know, if you wanted to put a bit and then you'll get a lot more torque. Trust me, instead of putting a bit like into a screwdriver handle and twisting it, you put a bit to here, you're going to get a lot more torque this way. So in an emergency, you could break something free, a stuck, whatever stuck kind of screw. So very, very cool. I like that. Also, it is a toolless design in terms of the blade. You can remove the blade very easily. Very excellent. You don't have like some extra, some kind of carrier, or you don't have an extra knob that has to connect into the blade. So that's really, really great. And so let's talk about the materials. Titanium, and there's a bit here, which is sort of the unique design, is the little plastic little nubs in here. Titanium is like very non-corrosive. You can just like use it in water. It's very nice and easy. It makes it a low maintenance knife. So basically, if you had like a bunch of dust and all this stuff, you can just rinse it under the water. You can take out the blade, rinse out whatever stuff. You can take this apart, but I doubt that you really will take it apart much often, unless you have some kind of gunk really stuck in there. So titanium is really a great material, very strong, very light, and just rinse it underwater, so it's very low maintenance. And seriously, the pièce de résistance, whatever you want to call it, is really these nubs here. In this design, it is excellent, it's smart. As soon as I saw it on the web, I was like, wow, these guys really figure out, they cracked the code. This is a smart way for them to actually make this kind of two-piece design. And then also part of the assembly basically goes into the holes, and these two pieces slide apart. and it basically holds together. So it functions in that way, and also it functions by protecting the edge of the blade. So one of the like kind of like dirty secrets or whatever you want to call it that I learned about like having a utility blade is that the blade actually can contact the surface of the actual titanium or whatever surface of your utility knife, and that will actually dull it. So, you know, in terms of utility knives, they're not the greatest in edge retention anyway. So if you're going to cut down cardboard, they'll still have like a working edge, you know. But if you're the type of person and you will like 99.99999% of the times you're just going to be using the knife to cut open like a bag of chips, or, you know, like cutting the errand like strand of string, or to open like letters and stuff like that. Maybe you want to retain like a really sharp, like hair popping edge, but you don't want to lose it. So this knife is actually, despite being hard duty knife, it actually can be a light duty knife that actually saves the blade from getting dull by this simple action of retracting and doing that. So for example, like this kind of thing, you can see I put like a little copper tape here, and that's to try to save the edge. Yeah, you won't get exactly the best edge. So yeah, very smart design. That is the most unique and most brilliant design I think that's coming out of this thing. Yeah, so cool. So let's just go over how you extract and retract the blade. It's very smooth. Full disclosure, as always, you know, I try to give the viewers as much facts and truths as possible. It's a bit gritty when you first get it, so you're gonna have to break it in, right? You're gonna have to break it in, but now it's like super smooth. It glides like butter. And then so all you have to do is basically there's a lock bar. This is where it's touching the blade, right? So you're basically kind of pushing down there, and there's like it's a sweet spot as you go up. And then there's like two kind of positions you can kind of click in, right? Like that. And then from exactly the same when you pull it back, just like that. So very easy, one hand design. Very simple. The lock bar design is actually brilliant, and they patented it and they designed it. So pretty brilliant. Okay, so let's talk about how to remove the blade, right? So this is one of the best, the toolless blade removal is one of the best feature that I love in any utility knife, and it's the feature that I demand every utility knife for myself, because I want to use it as a travel knife, and this is basically makes it a knife they can travel around the world with. Just have to push it over to like here, and then just like so, you'll see this is a nub over here that stops the blade from going further, right? As you push down, you just have to push this front part over to the other slot. And then, so you're putting tension on that side while you push forward, and that's it. Very simple, very easy.
Super easy.
Hope you got that. And how to reinstall it. Very simple. Just drop it in. Just free flows, drops in like that. Push down here, and then whoops. Just like gravity help me. Just like that. And then all you have to do is slide it back down like that. Let's do that again. Out the front, push it like this way. Push it out, easy, right? It's no longer a knife now. You can carry it onto the plane. You can do anything you want. No one's going to steal this in your checked baggage, because you can put it on your carry-on, and then just like that, just push it in, let it drop. It's already in. Slide, just like that. Super simple, super brilliant design, so that it's basically something that no one can confiscate. You can just dump the blade anywhere you want. This also for if you're a person who doesn't like to sharpen blades and want to use a utility knife. I mean, it's one of the benefits of utility knife, that you can just replace a blade as you will. So very cool. So let's talk about the disassembly of this utility knife. If you had to, I can imagine you doing it too often, but if you had to, you could. So basically you have these plastic nubs, and they save the blade, but they also function as keeping the construction together. And essentially you can just push it out. I just have like a bamboo stick, and then I just tap that bamboo stick and it'll help it pop out the other side. You pop those two out, this slides, it's like friction fit. It slides into a slot, and then you can pull it out like that. So you can see the video and then see how beautiful the design is. It's quite amazing. And that's that simple. Reverse the steps to reassemble, and that's it. conclusion on this gil-tek RUK, it is amazing design. I love one tool that has many different uses. I love the toolless blade removal. That's one of my favorite things. It's an excellent travel knife because of that. It sort of reminds me of another knife that I own that's quite iconic in the knife world that many people know about, and that's the Chris Reeve Sebenza. I kept feeling there's kind of like similarities into these two knives, both made in the USA, family owned, in-house production, high fit and finish. Even the looks are quite the same. If you look at the bead blast with the, you can see this is quite a user. So, and then I feel this RUK was designed to be a user knife. That's like the top priority in the design. So very, very smart design. And I think this RUK is like the Sebenza of the utility knife world. So yeah, and maybe it's like the design is so cool that it's being copied. Sorry to say, I guess, I don't know. Someone can maybe explain to me. So I don't know why this one has the lock bar design like it. And then also, I don't know why this little blade stop over here, it looks awfully similar to the blade stop here. So this is a version 2. It didn't have that blade stop before, so controversy. I'll end it with that little controversy. I don't know what's going on with that. So anyway, amazing design. This knife, I would say, is highly recommend and maybe like a must buy. I think it's a must buy for people if you're into EDC. So for example, if you're into EDC and then you want a knife and you just don't care about getting really deep into the knife world, knife is super useful. And then by having this kind of option where you could just toss and buy new blades, you don't have to learn sharpening. You have to dive in fully into the knife world. So it's really great for EDC. For knife people, must buy because you should own one utility knife. Great for traveling, great for hard use. Save your other knives for working knives, and you can just abuse these knives to heck and just toss the blades. So knife people, EDC people is super useful, and of course all the tradesmen, law enforcement, etc. Of course this is useful for them as well. So anyway, that's the end of it, and really like this knife. It's my favorite. It's probably the best knife I think out there right now. And so if you like this video, you can like, share, and subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Not this time.